Good morning everybody. As a little disclaimer, part of this video is sponsored by Sky. I am being quite quiet because I'm on the early shift this morning. Sarah and I typically take it in turns to do the early shift unless one of us is really struggling. She's much more of a morning person than me. It's funny having a kid, you'd think you just sort of like reset and you'd be a new person, but you're not. Like, I still go to bed like 1 AM, midnight, something like that. Because I like my own space, and also I'm a bit of a night owl. I just kind of am more active at that time of night, but that means the mornings are so difficult. And this little thing here, she used to, up until recently, would be getting up at like 8ish, and she's just started now stirring at around 4. I think it's called like sleep regression. So they just sort of go backwards a little bit as their brain develops those. It's fine, because usually from about 4, we can keep her in bed by just sort of soothing her for, you know, a minute or so here or there. And typically she'll stay down until about 6:30. But still, at that point, you have to get her up. Thing is though, she's usually really easy. This is the easiest part of the day with her, because all she wants really is a bottle and a cuddle and just to sort of be awake and no longer be laying down. So you can kind of just have her with you, whereas typically she might need like entertaining or need like something, whereas, you know, this time of morning, as you can see, she's just really relaxed she's had a bottle and she's just really relaxed just to be like hanging out with her dad, which is fun. She's also, in my experience, the most smiley in the morning, I guess because she's just had a good old sleep. Are you the most smiley in the morning? Are you? Are you the most smiley person in the world in the morning? Apparently not. I'm eating my words, she's not. In fact, to be fair, it's now about 8 o'clock. She's been up for about an hour, so it is nap time again. Margot's down for her first nap of the day now, and napping with her is the only thing we struggle with. She is the most delightful child. In fact, part of the way I knew she needed a nap just then is because she didn't smile. Typically, she'll smile on command. You give her a smile and she'll give you one back. She eats like a dream. She sleeps through the night really well. She's happy, she's healthy. We are so fortunate with that child. The only thing we struggle with are her daytime naps. Sometimes she's really resistant. I would say probably about 80% of the time she's really resistant, and she won't go down without a fight. And then when she skips a nap, she's a different kid entirely. And you have to kind of time it right. If you miss your window, then she won't nap at all. And then I think it's her cortisone levels spike. And then she just gets really stressy and irritable, and it's just a different kid. It's really important we get them, but she doesn't know that, and she doesn't like sleeping very much. I think she's down though. I put her down awake, and I could hear she had hiccups, bless her, and I thought, oh no, that's going to keep her awake. But I can't hear anything. Usually by now, you'd be able to hear. I'm going to talk to the Alexa. Alexa, show me Margot. Are you down? Yeah, I think she is. I can't hear her. Usually, if she wasn't, her head, she's got a thing where she won't sleep, she just does this. And you can see our baby monitor there kind of has like, is it infrared? I don't know. Basically, you can see really well in the dark, and her eyes glow. It's a bit creepy, but she looks like she's down, which is good, because that gives us, it depends. Sometimes she's down for sort of like 20 minutes. Sometimes she'll be down for a full hour. Once in a while, if it's an afternoon nap and it's a bigger one, we'll get 2 hours, but rarely. Finally getting a coffee. I cannot wait. By the way, that coffee machine, I think it's called the Sage Bambino. I really rate it if you're looking to get away from the pods. We had the pods before. The pods are great in that they deliver a good coffee, but I was consciously buying biodegradable, compostable pods. However, I have a compost thing at the back of my garden there, next to the shed, right? And it's still full of them because they just don't compost very quickly. So in the interest of trying to be better and reduce my waste, I decided to get a new machine which basically ditches the pods. In fact, I'll show you. It ditches the pods altogether, and you have like the like the actual coffee barista thing. This is called the portafilter, right? So in fact, let me come back a little bit and I'll show you this. Here we go. So I take my coffee out. There's my coffee. It's got a little black coffee in there. But then all you do is you take out your thing here, And then underneath, I bought like a tray. I think it's called a knock tray or something. And you just knock out your used coffee, and then it all goes in there. And then when that's full, I just give it to the worms in the compost. And it just makes things less wasteful. She's awake. We got about 20 minutes. She is fascinated by this camera. Look at you. It's like absolutely fascinated by it. She's just constantly looking at it. What is it, Mango? Oh, we call her Mango, by the way. I don't know if you know this or not. My brother's baby, so my niece, couldn't say Margot. Still can't say Margot, so calls her baby Mango, and now that's what we call this little thing. Did you have a good nap? We got about 20 minutes out of her, so nowhere near as long as we would like, but it's something, isn't it? She politely requested, at around the 20-minute mark, with some squeals. What she's doing at the moment is she doesn't cry. She'll just do this really high-pitched squeal, which basically means, Daddy, come and get me, Daddy. And if I ignore those squeals, thinking, right, she'll fall back asleep, then she cries. So she politely squealed, and then she was all smiles when I came to get her. But you know what? I actually quite like the company. Sometimes when she's asleep, I'm like, oh, I kind of miss her now and I want some cuddles. Also, we're kind of like TV buddies at the minute. And I know you're not supposed to put your kid in front of the screen loads, and I don't get me wrong. But this time in the morning when she's like this, when she's just really, really cuddly, is actually a time where I can watch my shows and give her a cuddle. And she doesn't need like loads of stimulating and stuff. There are times in the day where she's really active and you need to be around and be like really on it. But there are also times where she's super chill like this and just happy to be cuddled. So actually, my best time to watch stuff is between the hours of 7 AM and 9 AM when she's at her most relaxed. And I have watched so much stuff. And it's also really guilt-free because it's first thing in the morning and I haven't started work yet. It's not like in the middle of the day. I don't feel guilty about watching stuff. So I've just finished watching Hawkeye on Disney+. I've just started watching the Book of Boba Fett on Disney+. We finished Selling Sunset on Netflix. I finished like 11 seasons of It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. What else are we watching? There's a few things on Sky. We're watching like a Discovery of Witches we just finished. Wolf. There's a whole bunch of stuff. Excellent timing. Sarah just walked in the house and took Margot from me. It's amazing when you are having one arm outstretched holding your camera and another arm here holding a child. It's amazing how off balance you feel and how heavy things get really quickly. So Sarah just came in and I was like, take her from me! So that's handy. Anyway, as I was saying, this video is partly sponsored by Sky. Sky Cinema are releasing a new Sky original film every week, 52 films of the week. So the amount of content they're making is mind-blowing. As you may know, I write scripts, and to think, like, you know, they take years to come from writing to then be produced and directed and all the stuff. To think they've got 52 coming out this year is mind-blowing. And then, of course, they've got all the other stuff which isn't original but is appearing. So, for example, in January alone, they have added... what's the film called? My mind's gone blank. Suicide Squad, which I thought was really, really fun. It had mixed reviews, but I kind of think it was unapologetically nonsense. It knew what it was. It knew it was carnage. It was just like explosions and gore and, you know, a very loose plot, but I loved it. Today, I am going to watch Save the Cinema. I'm going to put a link in the description box down below to Sky TV's YouTube page so you can watch the trailer for it. It looks kind of delightful, like a really lovely, feel-good film. Basically, it's based on a true story. It's set in 1993, and it's about how like a big company wanted to knock down the local theatre to put like a shopping centre there. And one woman, Liv Evans, kind of like brought the community together in order to save the cinema. She even wrote to Steven Spielberg to get him to do a premiere of Jurassic Park there. That's all I know. I've only seen the trailer, but it looks really, really lovely. It's got Tom Felton in it, who played... I feel really bad for Tom Felton because he's only known as the guy who played Malfoy in Harry Potter. But I've seen him in other stuff, and I think he's a credible actor in his own right. I think it's a shame when people are only known for one thing. I might start sending some of my scripts in, actually. They're clearly making stuff. This is not part of the Sky thing. I just want to show you this because it's, you know, I love tech and I love like gadgets and stuff. This makes my life so easy. So I'm watching it on Sky Glass, right, which is their TV here. Of course you can watch it on any TV, but I want to show you this because I just think it's brilliant. Now I'm doing it on the remote. I can just talk to my TV, but I'm not going to because I'm talking to you at the same time and it will confuse it. If I go to my playlist here, as I mentioned before, I'm watching shows on lots of different things. For example, Ted Lasso's on Apple or Disney, I can't remember now. But that's Disney Plus, that's Apple, that's Netflix. I've got all my films here, so Save the Cinema, Quiet Place, all this stuff. They're all on different providers, but the beauty of Sky Glass is that it sort of collates everything in one place. So rather than going out of Sky into Netflix, out of Netflix into Amazon to sort of keep track of what I'm watching, it's all kind of collected in one place. So I can just stay here and it will load it automatically and start streaming. It's brilliant. So I am on, I'm not going to call it a health kick, I'm going to call it a lifestyle change, as most people in the fitness industry do. I just haven't liked what I've seen in the mirror for the last sort of like year or so. I appreciate that I'm not in terrible shape, don't get me wrong, but it's kind of been a bit insidious and a bit gradual. I think a lot of it has been due to, you know, like the pandemic and everything, but also moving house and having a baby. You just prioritize things differently, and I've not been caring what I've been eating, and I've not been working out enough and all that stuff. And like, as a result, I weigh less than I've weighed for years. Like, I'm 6'3". Typically, I like to weigh at just around 90, so somewhere between like 88 and 92 kilos, which even then is slim, but I like being slim, right? At the moment, I weigh about 83, which is really quite small for me, but also I'm much less defined than I used to be. I used to be a bit leaner. If my abs are coming back if I really tense and I find the right light and the right angle, they're there somewhere. I have to say though, I'm really enjoying sort of the adventure, I think partly because it's sort of time for me, and at the moment I don't have much time for me because it's all given to sort of the baby and still to this house. We've still got the kitchen to do and all that stuff. And it's nice to have, you know, my own adventure, I suppose, but also it does feel really good to move stuff, like move your body, lift some weight, run around, do some boxing. Like, I forgot how much I liked it. The tricky bit is the food for me, because I just like eating. Just keeping you posted on my adventure, but also making it positive. I think sometimes we put too much pressure on ourselves. Like, yes, I have a goal, yes, I want to reach it, and yes, I will reach it because I'm working hard and I'm doing all the right things. But also, like, on Sunday, I had my booster jab. So I had my booster jab on Saturday. On Sunday, I felt a bit sorry for myself. I just felt a bit like fluey and everything. So I ate pastry and I had a roast dinner, you know, and then I had a whiskey in the evening. And I'm not apologizing for that. Like, I wanted it, so I had it. But I just know that I'm back on it on Monday and trying really hard. This is my first Peloton where I've done a live class. Very different vibe. Usually I do ones that are like pre-recorded. There's 25,000 people doing this right now.
Are you getting high fives?
No high fives yet, but I'm position 3,309 at the minute. It's not bad out of 25,000. Oh, I'm in.
Give some high fives.
All right, so I've worked out. The baby's back down for another nap, thanks to Mum, who came and saved the day. And I finished watching the film. I really liked that film. I think sometimes it's nice when films aren't about like massive events. You know, it's quite a small, localized story. But to tell it and to let millions of people see it via the medium of film, I think is really special, because it's one of those things that I had no idea about, you know what I mean? But it was written so, I'm gonna use the word charming. And I don't mean that in the way that some people say quaint. You know, when you walk into someone's house and it's small, you say, oh, how quaint. I don't mean charming like that. I just mean it was full of charm. It was really, really lovely. Everyone felt real, like people, I'm really bad. I'm a really bad person to watch films with, because I spend some time writing them. I critique everything, and like Sarah will tell you, I don't know if you can hear, she went, I agree with everything you're saying. I ruin moments, I talk about what I would have done differently and blah, blah, blah. But I just thought it was a really lovely watch. So again, I've linked to the trailer down there on the Sky YouTube channel, so you can go check it out. But I highly recommend it. It was an easy, lovely, just enjoyable film. It's 1 in the afternoon, and guess who got showered and got out of the house? This guy right here. It's funny that sometimes showering becomes an accomplishment. Sarah got back, and then suddenly parenting is much easier because there's 2 hands between you. But I have an appointment with one of my best friends. His name is James Stewart. You may recognise his face from TV stuff he does. You may also recognise his voice. He's on Heart Radio in the morning. We kind of have like a little side hustle kind of thing together. Basically, I mentioned that I do writing. He does unscripted stuff too. So actually our 2 parts of our side hustle are very separate, but we develop ideas together and we kind of bounce off each other really nicely. And it can be quite lonely doing this job because you sit at your desk the whole time kind of coming up with ideas. It's really nice to have a person to bounce ideas off, but it also means we can sort of share in each other's success. And it's nice just to have like a partner in crime actually. So although we almost have sort of separate parts of what we do it as a duo because it's just nice to have a mate basically. So I'm now meeting him for a coffee. The thing is, we're both very busy with our day-to-day stuff, right? So it's tricky. It's a side hustle because it takes up our side time, you know what I mean? And it's tricky to make time to actually have face-to-face chats because he travels a lot, I travel a lot, I've got a kid now, I'm busy doing my stuff, he's busy doing his stuff, so I haven't actually seen him this year. Although to be fair, it's only January, yeah, it's only like the 15th or something of January, so you know, it's only been 2 weeks, but usually we hang out quite a bit. I've almost certainly got a parking ticket because it's now, I had an hour on the car, we've been here for an hour and 45. You're going to be late as well.
I need to go.
Yeah, James, should we get up?
Let's go.
James has got to go to Manchester because he's very busy, important. Are you doing TV stuff?
Yeah, we're doing some, Manchester United stuff today.
Oh.
Yeah. It's not a good time to be Man United fan, sadly. As you know, as a big football fan.
Well, as a massive Liverpool fan, I know this very well.
You've got the shirt, right?
I've got the shirt, and basically I'm in now via sort of the in-laws. If I don't support, in fact, you would not be welcome because Man United is the enemy.
We have to hang out separately.
You can't come to the wedding, basically, or you're on the groom side, not the bride side.
Exactly. Which side, sir? That side.
Yeah, the Man United side, please. Somebody's woken up from her nap.
Oh, with a big bogey.
Oh, she's got a big bogey. Get the bogey, Mum.
Oh, no, it's not food, darling.
This kid is always hungry. She thinks everything's food. Can we get a smile? How many gasps a day do you think we do? Because we spend all of our time going. She's fascinated by the camera.
Mm.
Oh,
there you go.
Sometimes when I give her like kisses and things, she likes it. Sometimes she hates it. I think it's because of my beard, and she'll give me a smile and then go, "Oh no!"
Yes, you smiling at Mama.
Do you want to go for a walk? Daddy wants a coffee. Should we go for a walk? I literally got back from my meeting with James, what, an hour and a half ago? And I was like, Sarah, let's go get a coffee and have like a nice afternoon together. It's like the apocalypse now. It's miserable. Sarah's upset because she's wearing a suede and shearling jacket.
I also, women or maybe men, maybe I shouldn't be sexist, but women particularly will appreciate this weather is the worst for your hair because it's not so wet that you have wet hair, but it's like perfect frizz weather.
I can see it all just sort of settling on your hair.
Yeah, and it goes like, yeah, very frizzy.
Also, shearling in the rain is not nice. It just sort of soaks it all up.
This whole weather is not good for me.
I'm also sad that I'm wearing these trainers, which are like canvas, and are now like gonna get wet and everything. It's a terrible idea. Not worth the coffee.
And the shoes on as well.
Oh yeah, but they're quite cool and edgy though.
Yes, these are my new patch.
Not worth the coffee we're gonna get though, is it?
No.
Margot's happy. She's got her hood up. Can we see?
She's got her eyes.
She's got her hood up. Oh, look at her. Hello, gorgeous. That's hilarious. In a little cocoon. She's warm and dry at least, or something. Sarah and I were just discussing our model faces. So there was a time, not that long ago, where I did a lot of photo shoots and stuff. And my Instagram was much more like sexy, like pouty, than it is now. Now it's much more just sort of like candid and lifestyle and stuff. But there was a time where I would give a look, and Sarah still slaughters me. Don't think I've done that look since we've been together, have I?
You have. There have been a few events we've been to
Right.
where you laugh because I get so put off. by not knowing what face to pull, but I just pull like the weirdest face, and I look like
Sarah's an actual, whenever I did modelling stuff, I was always a model because I'm who I am and because I've got a following, as opposed to just because I'm really attractive. Whereas Sarah is a model by right. And what's really funny is that if we go to an event, because I guess that's more my turf than Sarah's, because when she does modelling stuff, it's on set or on location and it's a photographer doing a thing. Whereas when we go to an event, it's more kind of a free-for-all. And so I'm slightly more accustomed to those things and have a little more control. Whereas Sarah always looks like a rabbit in the headlights. Anyway, she thinks it's hilarious to do my face. Do my face? My model face?
just like concentrate for this, okay?
See, that's not it. It's not a million miles
I have
off.
to suck my lips in a bit because I've got a thin lip.
That's rude.
I'm doing it now though.
That's outrageous. See, the thing is, my model face, right? My sister taught me how to do it because she used to be she still is a makeup artist, and was like, right, Jim, your face is like this, so in order to make it look better, is what you do.
Was that Sam?
Yeah, it was Sam.
That was
so
definitely
basically,
Savage Sam.
I put my tongue, sometimes between my teeth, but certainly on the top of my mouth, at the back of my teeth, like there, sort of thing. And then I suck in slightly, I look into the middle distance a little bit, and I squint a little, and then you have the classic Jim Chapman. Here it is. Actually, I can't do it on demand now. Wait, let me control my face. If you scroll through my Instagram, you'll see that in places.
If you could add a caption bubble to that right now, it would come up and say, have I just done a fart?
No, it wouldn't.
Have I just eaten a lemon?
Sarah's model face, though, is much...
Terrible.
I don't think it's too dissimilar to mine. It just looks better because she's got a better face. But very often it's chin high with Sarah. You've got a few, right? Sometimes it's chin high and it's like really cheekbony. And it's like that, which I think is a fair representation. You do it.
Yeah? Wait, I can't even think now. No, I can't.
But you kind of suck in a bit more. Sometimes, particularly when she does econ work, it's this.
Do you know what?
Do it.
No, if you hold the push, you have to basically, with ecom, you have like, you're doing 60 or 70 outfits a day, and you're doing like 10 shots per outfit, and you've got to get them quick.
The ecom sway is what you need. So
Yeah,
you need to
so
sort of...
you've got to, and after your first 10 are a bit rubbish, you're kind of tired, you're easing up into it. The middle few are really good, but then the final ones at the end of the day, you've given it all you've got, and you're there kind of like...
There's nothing left in the tanks. There's a few corkers of Sarah on actual websites. People are buying clothes that she's actually wearing.
One got reused
and
recently.
the face she's doing is this.
Something got reused recently because, you know, some websites, like I think it was Next, you know how they will shop other brands, and I saw myself and I was like, oh, that's bad. That's bad.
Excellent. We're going to the compost. I'm trying to do it with I've got a really weird setup, right, in that it's pitch black outside now, so I've got my phone and my camera in one hand. My phone has a torch on. I've got the compost in this hand. Oh, it came out so easily. And I'm going to show you my worms. Oh my god, it's so dark. Oh, my camera's actually doing really well, so maybe I don't need to worry about my phone doing the torch thing. So this is called a sub pod. And basically, I guess it's called a sub pod because you submerge it and it's a pod. And then you open it up in here, and I've got my oh my god, my feet are drenched. Why did I do this in sandals? And you lift up the worm blanket, and inside, actually the last thing I did was put a load of paper and stuff in, which kind of helped with insulation and stuff. What's on this side? Much the same, I think. But if I move all this around, look, there's all my compost. Isn't that good? What I'm going to do though is stick this bag in like that, I reckon. I'll just do a bit of this. There you go. What's good is that these paper bags here are also compostable, so I'll literally just put my worm blanket back on. Oh, I should get my coffee grinds too, actually, shouldn't I? So I'll open this one up, make a bit of space. There's my old coffee grinds, and I'll get my coffee grinds. Oh my god, squelchy. Squelchy, squelchy. Oh my lord, my feet are drenched. Stupid idea, Jim. Get my coffee. We get through a lot of coffee in this house. Oh, the baby. Sorry, Margot. That was like a minus nearly in dad points because I'm making a racket. Right, let's go feed my worms. So what I do, like once every week, once every sort of fortnight, I will come in here and I will just kind of get some air in there, so move it all around and let some air through so that the worms can move it a bit, you know. And actually, you'll be surprised how quickly it turns to compost, and you'll be surprised how quickly I can fill this right up, and within a few weeks it's sunk right down again because it's all been sort of like mulched by the worms, and it just saves it going to landfill. Because the thing about landfill, God, that's bright. The thing about going to landfill is that there's so much stuff getting packed on top of other stuff on top of other stuff that no air gets to it, so nothing can rot and nothing can get eaten by the worms because there's no space. It just kind of condenses down. So yeah, that's why I'm doing it. Well, I think I'm going to end this video here because it's bath and bedtime for the child and it's very nearly dinner time for the adults. And actually, although earlier I was saying I'm on a health kick, I've forgotten to eat today, which is not a good thing for this whole health kick. I've been really busy, as you've seen from the video, just sort of doing bits and bobs and like traveling around a bit. So I need to eat a good, clean, healthy dinner. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you've enjoyed this video, and I will see you very, very soon. Goodbye.